Find that pranayama position. So middle 3 fingers touching, right thumb is going to go to the right nose, left or pinky to the left nostril. So from here, you'll take a deep breath in. Keep exhaling just through the nose and depress the right thumb to the nose. Breathe out slow and steady. And your thumb or your middle 3 fingers are not touching your face, they're vertical. They're all 3 connected. You'll inhale through that same side. Switch, push the pinky into the nose and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through that same side. Switch, exhale down through the left. Inhale through the same side. Switch, exhale through the right. And you can keep going at your own pace. This is also a practice of being really, really observant of how your breath is coming in and out. If you imagine that you had a little bird feather underneath your nostrils, you want to control the breath enough that you're breathing out slowly and consistently, but that you're not trying to disturb that feather. And it might not happen that way at the beginning, but with practice, as you slow this breath down, as you bring more awareness and control, you should be able to get there. Take another 1 or 2 full breath cycles. And the next time that you exhale through the left, there's no rush, so just bring yourself over to that left side. Fully complete that exhale and then just rest the practice. Bring both hands into your lap. And notice for just this moment any sort of shift. Maybe you can even feel, you can bring your finger underneath your nose. And as you exhale through the nostrils, you should be able to feel an equalness between the left and the right. Or even as you inhale, just notice an equalness in that breath. So this Sukha Kriya or Sukha Pranayama is so useful. Anytime that you're feeling a little bit agitated or discombobulated, or you've just come out from a big experience, this is a grounding practice. And that's the whole point of us coming together, is to ground in, to feel that sense of connection, that conduit of electricity that we each carry, and to create a deeper, stronger bolt or line of energy for ourselves. So from here, we're just going to invite small movements into the head and the neck. So if you need to readjust your legs at all, feel free. But we'll start just by bringing the chin up towards the ceiling or the sky. Full breath in. Just go as high as you can. And it might feel good to just let your head actually rest backwards, or you might keep a little bit of engagement so your neck doesn't hurt. Couple deep breaths, letting that muscle area on the front of your throat, on the outside of your jaw stretch. When you exhale, bring the chin all the way back down towards your pit of your throat. Stay tall in the spine, but just allow the back of your neck to now stretch. And then draw your left ear down towards your shoulder. And take your right hand and just hold your outside knee or thigh. See if you can create a little resistance so that shoulder doesn't lift up. So you're feeling the stretch along the right side of your neck. And it might feel nice, you can turn the chin to face down or turn the chin slightly up, rotating the head. When you inhale, bring the head back up to neutral. And then right ear down to the shoulder, left hand to the outside of your knee. You can create tension here, like imagine you're pulling on your knee and your knee is pulling on your hand. Couple breaths, chin goes all the way down towards your armpit or towards the ground. And then all the way rotating up. And then make your way back up to neutral, head forward. Take a big breath in, squeeze the shoulders up, and intentionally roll and move them back and down. This is going to be really slow. So I want your arms to be almost like dead weight. Just move the shoulders. Inhale up, roll it back. Feel the sensation of your upper back area pinching together, and down and forward. Let's do 3 more. Inhale up, back, down, and forward. So you can start to understand how those shoulders move, isolated from the other movement of the arm bones. See if you can even keep your elbows really relaxed. Sometimes we fan the elbows out as we lift the shoulders up. Let's do 1 more. Cool. And now let's inhale, bring the arms out wide and overhead. And then the same thing with the arms overhead. Move the shoulders now backwards and up. And then exhale forward. Inhale backwards and up, big squeeze. Exhale forward. This one gets a little tiring earlier than the other one. Do 2 more. Keep reaching all the way up. Start to feel your breath get a little constricted. You can slow down and just focus on that full inhale and exhale. Okay, the next time that you inhale and you bring the arms and shoulders up, interlace the hands, and then just gently side bend over to your left. Yeah. You can even rest your head in between your upper arm bones. Just feel that little stretch through the left side, or through the right side rather. And now we're going to come back up and turn the body over to the left. And as you exhale, lower the hands down, just wherever they land. Stay tall in the spine, but as you inhale, pull the chest forward. And then as you exhale, contract your belly button. See if you can rotate yourself, not with your hands, but with your spine, with your core. And just take a little gentle twist. Any movement through the head or neck that you feel is necessary is welcome here. You don't have to stay stuck in one position. Inhale, come back to center, arms circle up and overhead. And same thing, second side. Exhale over to the right, left side stretches. Maybe you'll notice if you tend to roll the top shoulder forward, if you can just encourage it back and encourage a little length through the side that's bending as well as the side that's receiving the stretch. Inhale to come up. As you exhale, rotate over to the right, hands come down, preferably outside your thigh. Take a breath as you lift the chest, lift the gaze, lift the crown of the head, and then exhale, contract the abdomen and twist open. Inhale, come back to face forward. And we're just gonna rock backwards a little bit, just a few times. So you can place your heels on the ground, hands to the front shins or knees behind. Lean back enough that your arms get straight. And here I want you to round a little bit. So pull your ribs down. Start to walk the heels back just enough until you can hover your feet off of the ground. You're kind of on the back side of your pelvis. And super slow, keep the tension between your knees and your arms and roll back. And then push yourself up and see if you can roll forward and find that little balance moment. Let's do it about 3 or 4 times. So you're getting that full-ish range of motion, rolling all the way back onto your upper shoulders, but with so much control that it almost looks like you're being lowered on a rope or something. There's no momentum. Good. Last one. You'll come all the way up. And from here, cross the ankles. I want you to reach your hands super far forward, and then roll up and over onto your hands and knees for tabletop or quadruped, as we say in the fitness industry. Tuck the toes, all 10 back behind, spread all 10 fingers really wide, and then inhale, sink the chest down to the ground, scoop the tailbone up and back, look forward. Just take another full breath here. Use the exhale to initiate rounding the spine, curling the table, chin to chest. Wait for the inhale, sink the shoulders, arch the back, lift the gaze. Exhale, roll, curl. And here I like to notice the relationship between what my spine is doing and what my fingers and toes are doing. So as I inhale, everything gets kind of light. And as I exhale, I grip the ground. I push the earth away. I find that connection point. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Now when you breathe in, as you're arching the spine, reach the right leg back, point the toes. See if you can lift the hip as high as you can without turning it to the side. So you can be in an arch, but draw your belly button and hip bone forward. And now when you exhale, bend your knee, bring it all the way to your throat or forehead, push the ground away. Inhale, arch, toes are pointed, gaze is high, arch the back. Exhale, pull it in, knee to nose, push the earth away. One last time, feel the energy here through the right side of your body. Everything on that right side should be active. As you exhale, everything on the left side should be stable but soft. Release the right foot down to the mat. Inhale to arch the back in neutral. And then exhale to round. We'll do the left side just a few times. As you breathe in, the left leg stretches back, point the toe, arch the spine, look up. Exhale, round, get tight. Breathe in, lift, reach. And breathe out, contract. Squeeze. 2 more on this side, on your own pace. Left side is active, right side is stable. You're moving in correlation with your own breath. No rush, no extra pause. Exhale, curl it in nice and tight. Inhale the knee back to the earth. Tuck the toes if they're not. Shift your body weight backwards. Walk your hands forward. So now all 10 toes should still be touching the ground. It's like you're in child's pose, but a little active stretch through the feet. Keep reaching through the upper arm bones and push the earth away so you feel your elbows are up. You can bow your head between your arms. Take 5 breaths. I like to imagine I'm still pushing the mat away from my face, so I get a big sense of reaching up through the upper arms. That space between my upper back should feel like it's stretching apart. Now, while you have that big push through the arms, start to lift the knees up off of the mat. Your hips and your tailbone stay low to the ground. As your legs extend, your thighs stay close to your chest. You can reach into downward dog, super slow. Big stretch through the calves, your heels reach for the mat. You might bend one knee at a time if that feels like too much to ask this morning. I know for me and Shauna, tight calves, whew. Switch sides, bending the other knee. Keep the arms strong and active. Head is relaxed between your upper arm bones. And now we'll take a breath in, lift both heels up. Keep drawing the thighs close to your chest and walk your feet to your hands. Start to bring your shoulders forward. Push, 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 push. As your feet get close to your wrists, pause, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, rise to stand. Circle the arms up and overhead. And then just exhale, bring the hands through the front line of the body. So just like we did in our pranayama, we're taking those diverse energies from the left and the right and bringing them through center. Big circle, arms overhead, top of the breath, fingers touch. Exhale, center it back down. One more time. Okay. Now bring the big toes to touch. We're going to move through a couple rounds of just a very standard Surya Namaskar or sun salutation. It's important that you make the difference between having your feet apart and why we bring the feet together in this standing pose. So when your big toes touch, this creates like essentially a closed circuit for your energy. You're not taking in anything else from the outside when your toes are touching. And when you fold forward, you want to have your heels also touching. So you can keep the feet parallel if you'd like, or you can spin the toes away. When you fold forward, what we want to do is prevent the energy from our base, our root chakra area, from spilling out. We want to draw energy up and in. And when the heels are touching, we're able to do that. So those are just 2 things to pay attention to in this flow, okay? We'll start with hands down by the sides. Take a breath in, sweep the arms out and overhead. Squeeze the heels together. As you exhale, hinge at the waist. Reach the chest forward and down, forward bend. And take your time, let the fullness of your breath find that full forward bend. You'll inhale, draw the hands back by the toes. Step the right foot back, lower the knee to the ground. Take another breath in as you arch the back in a low lunge. On your exhale, palms flatten, lift the back knees, step your feet together. Again, big toes touch, downward dog. As you inhale, pull your body forward like a plank. You can come down to your knees. Arch the upper back, bend the elbows, and lower down, exhale. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back as you inhale, lift the spine, just a gentle arch, like a baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat, touch the toes and tuck. Inhale, push up through plank or table. Exhale, shift back through dog. Inhale, step the right foot between the hands, thigh as close to your chest as possible. Back knee down, take another full breath, arch the spine for a low lunge. And as you exhale, lift the back knee, step your feet together, heels touch, forward bend. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway. Think about pulling the shoulders together down your back, pulling your belly button to your spine. Exhale, forward bend, hands to the mat. Inhale the left leg back, knee to the earth, arch into your lunge. Exhale, pick up the back knee, push and step, big toes touch, downward dog. Inhale, pull yourself forward to plank or knees find the mat. Arch the back, elbows bend, lower down to your belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Little push into your hands for cobra. Exhale, release, forehead and toes tuck. Inhale, push up. Exhale, shift back. Big toes touch, down dog. Inhale, left knee to your face, step through, low lunge. Breathing in, spread the collarbones back. Exhale, lift the back knee, step, heels touch, forward fold. This time, inhale, lift the chest, sweep the arms forward and rise to stand. Arms in line with your ears. Exhale, arms through center, hands in front of your chest. We'll go through that one more time. Breathe in, hands down, circle up, fullness of breath. Your hands can touch overhead. Heels are touching, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, low lunge. Exhale to downward dog, feet together. Inhale, forward plank or table. Exhale, slowly lower. There's no rush. Untuck everything, curl up to cobra. Maybe begin to push the arms a little bit more straight. Exhale, release, forehead to the mat, tuck the toes. Find your strength here as you inhale, push up, shift back. Exhale, dog. Inhale, right foot forward between the hands, back knee down for lunge. Exhale, pick up the back knee, step heels together and forward bend. Inhale, halfway, lifting up, shoulders strong, belly tight. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back, low lunge. Exhale, downward dog. Keep the reach through your arms, big toes connect. Inhale, pull the body forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lower down. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the upper chest. Exhale, release, forehead to the mat. Inhale to push up. Exhale to pour back. Breathe the left foot forward between the hands. Exhale, the right knee lifts, step feet together, heels touch, forward bend. Inhale, bring the arms by your ears, rise to stand. Full breath, arms overhead. And exhale, hands come down right through the midline. You can either keep the hands there or just relax your palms down by your thighs. Take a breath and notice, again, just like in your Sukha Kriya, an evenness in the energy in your hands, the feet, in the breath itself. See if you can actually feel where your midline lies. Is it right over the center of your heels, the center of your heart, center of your eyebrows? Okay. And just shake it out a little bit. Take a little bend and bounce into your knees. We're going to come to standing on the left leg. So I want you to spread the toes super well. Keep a soft bend in that knee. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. And then as you breathe in, start to reach the right foot forward. As you breathe out, bend that knee and draw it up towards your belly, towards your midline. And you can hold the front shin or underneath the leg, or you can just start to balance there. We're going to stay here for just a little bit, so get used to recorrecting. You can choose to just stay. You can choose to allow this knee to come out to the side. But as you do that, notice if your other hip starts to travel with you, if you can keep that hip bone facing forward. Yeah. And now if that feels good, you can stay here. You can begin to work on straightening the knee. Or if you can hike your knee a little higher, you could take hold of the inner arch of your foot or your toe. And either stay there, just work on the hip flexing, or begin to lengthen the heel out. Doesn't have to be straight, but we want the spine to stay erect. About 3 more full inhales and exhales. Yeah, you can always reset, no problem. If you need to pulse it a little bit to just get some movement, that's okay. Go ahead and draw the foot back down. Draw the knee back into midline, and let's cross that knee over your front knee. Start to shift your body weight backwards in space, keeping the chest tall. So it's kind of like a Garudasana or eagle pose. And you can point your bottom toes down towards the mat. And if you can, start to wrap that bottom foot. If that changes the direction of your hips, don't do the wrap. You can bend more at your waist, but that's not as important as keeping everything in line. Take about 2 more breaths. Whatever you do with your hands is fine. You want to keep them open to receive. You want to keep them bound to stretch. You want to keep them at the heart to be connected to your center. Now when we inhale, we'll stand up. Bring the right knee up. And when you exhale, start to reach that right foot way back. Tap the toe to the ground, and then center your weight between your front and back knee, and then draw the arms up and overhead for a high lunge. Then you can pivot the back heel down, release the arms out and wide, and bring them back behind you. Either take hold of your wrists or maybe your elbows. Take another deep breath in, find a little arch through your upper back. So think about stretching the belly button up to your throat. And now as you exhale, draw your entire spine forward over your front leg. Just allow your head, your chest, your shoulders to bow forward towards your inner thigh. Just relax. The lower body is working here for you. It's stable and strong. The upper body is in surrender, in a bow. As you breathe in, lift the front of your chest, your upper back up. Reach the arms forward and overhead. Let's pick up the back heel. And exhale, spiral the hands out and down. Find the floor. We're going to step back to a plank. Feet connected, heels touch. Let's take 3 full breaths. Pick up all your weight into your tiptoes so your belly comes slightly forward and then slightly back. One more time, full breath in, coming forward into the fingers. Exhale it back, lower to the knees, lower to the belly. Roll the shoulders up and back. Exhale, forehead to the ground, touch the toes. Inhale, push up. Exhale, hinge back, downward dog. Just like we did in the beginning, walk your feet to your hands, tiptoe. Try to keep lots of weight, stacking your shoulders over your wrist. Heels connect, forward bend at the top. Inhale, reach the arms by your ears, rise to stand. Exhale, hands glide down through the midline. Okay. Spread the right toes nice and wide. Keep a soft bend into that knee. As you inhale, draw the left foot forward. As you exhale, bend the knee, flex the hip. Stay here for a breath or two. Or you can start drawing that knee out to the side, keeping the other hip bones as forward facing as you can. If it's in your practice, if you can bend the knee and reach the ankle, the inner foot or the toes, you can work on extending the knee. If that's not, you can also stay here and just work on getting a little taller through your standing leg and getting a little bit of play through that bent knee. Couple deep breaths. If you're really working on hand to foot, energy out through the top heel. Flex the toes, draw the belly in, stay nice and open. We'll use the exhale to release. Bring the knee back to center and then cross it over your front thigh. As you bend at your waist, shift your hips back. So feel the power in your back heel. You can point your toes down to the mat, squeeze the outer shin muscles together, and then anything you do with your arms, again, is great. If you want reception, hands wide. You want a little bit of power and stretch, protection, cross the elbows. You want to stay in alignment with your center, hands at heart. Come back to your breath. Take an inhale, lift everything up, uncross. As you exhale, slide that left leg way back. Step softly into the ground, heel lifted. Inhale, arms sweep forward and up. Exhale, pivot the back heel to the ground and release the hands wide. Again, you can take elbows or just hold your back wrist. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale to arch the upper back. And exhale, spill your body weight over your front leg. Keep the leg stable, the chest comes down, head relaxed. You might even bring your wrists up and over your head for a little extra stretch. Inhale, lift the upper body away from the thigh. Release the hands, pivot the back heel up. Inhale, reach the arms forward and overhead. Exhale, spiral the fingers down to the mat. Inhale, step, transition to plank. Let's hold again for 3 full breaths, rocking forward and rocking back by driving your weight through the toes. Feel the fingertips get powerful here. Notice the steadiness of your arms and your spine. As you come forward, lower down to your knees, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, come down to your belly. Roll the shoulders back. Big inhale, arch the upper chest. Exhale, release, tuck the toes and forehead. Inhale, push up. Exhale, shift back, downward dog, feet together, toes touch. Cool. Let's take the right foot, and as you breathe in, slide the right foot back and up. Not open, just straight back. Rotate your toes out to the right, and then rotate your toes all the way to the left so your knee faces your inner thigh. Try it one more time, all the way to the right, all the way to the left. The shoulders stay stacked, facing the ground. Now as you open the shoulders or the knee or the toes to the side, you can start to lift the knee high, bend your knee, take a little open twist, a little stretch through the right hip. As you exhale, I want you to bring your right knee first up towards your right elbow, all the way up, and then step your foot between the hands. You can stay high on the back knee or lower down into a low lunge. Either way is fine. Left hand firmly rooted on the mat. Take the right hand to your heart. Inhale, push the ground away. Pull the chest up and open as you rotate. From there, reach the right hand towards the ceiling and make backwards swimming circles. So the right thumb is going to go back, down, forward, and up. Back, down, forward, and up. A few times on your own, find a breath pace that works. The next time that your arm comes all the way down, just lower it to the mat. Bring the back knee to the earth. Shift your hips backwards, straightening the front leg to the extent that you can. And you can pulse here, coming forward into your lunge or back into that hamstring stretch. Hanuman. He's the carrier. He's the communicator, but he's also the carrier, right? So think about using that Hanuman energy as a conduit for your own, carrying the messages from the mind to the heart, from the heart to one another. Maybe it comes back to the mind, that doesn't really matter, as long as it's getting carried through the heart. Okay. Now when your leg comes to that straight position, I want you to just plant your hands on the ground and then bring both of your knees down to the mat like you're going to go into tabletop or quadruped. And now walk your knees slightly forward so they're just a couple of inches behind your wrists. You can do this with your toes tucked or point the toes if you're feeling like a little spicy. We're going to take a deep breath in, push the ground away, get the shoulders really, really broad. As you exhale, lift the knees and stack your weight over your hands. Inhale, come back to the ground. Exhale, lift the knees and thighs. So you're coming from a little tuck position to a very, very narrow downward dog position. Let's go for 5. Each time you exhale, you're reinforcing the control, the unification, and the pattern that you're building here. Pause, let your hips shift back. You can come all the way up. And then we'll take the left hand to the right knee. You can have your right hand back behind you for balance, and we're gonna lift that knee up. So you're getting a bit of a stretch through your front ankle, your shin, and maybe even to your hips, a little rotation. And then release that back down. Second side, right hand to the left knee, left hand back by your ankle, lift the knee up. Look over your left shoulder. And relax back down. Hands reach forward. Lift your hips into table, tuck the toes, shift up and back, downward dog. And then breathe the left heel up and back. With the hip bones facing forward, turn your toes out to the side. And then rotate or wrap them inside towards your thigh a couple times, out to the side, in towards the midline. And now out to the side, lift the hip, start to bend the knee and lift the kneecap up towards the ceiling. Long stretch through the left ribs. Keep the arms strong. On an exhale, draw your left knee to your left elbow or even your armpit. Step the foot forward. Back leg can stay lifted or down. Right hand plants to the mat. Inhale, left hand to your heart. Push the mat away, start to wrap and rotate open. Reach the left arm high, full breath in. Circle the hand back, down, forward and up. 3 times at your own pace. It's like the top of the rainbow. There's so much energy, there's so much light. All the elements are coming together, and this is this beautiful moment to just express. Last time, big circle. As your hand comes down, frame the front foot. Shift the hips back, lengthen the front leg. Check in any messages that Hanuman is providing you. Just listen to your breath. Continue to pulse back and forward from the hips to the toes. Cool. Find your low lunge. Place both hands down on the ground. Lift the back knee. Let's step to plank. Shift your hips way back to dog. Take a little step forward, maybe 2 to 3 inches. And we're gonna do a little baby jump through. Doesn't matter if you don't do it perfectly. I want you to bend your knees a lot and shift your butt back. So we were talking about squatting. You're in like a downward dog squat. Hips as low to the ground as you can, knees up off the mat. Now breathe in and look forward. I want you to look about 2 feet in front of your hands. Just look forward. Now as you exhale, I want you to jump and send your feet to where you are lifting. It doesn't matter if you take another step. If you kerplop and land your butt flat on the ground, that's totally fine. The vision is what gets you to that point eventually. Okay, we're gonna take the feet together and then let the knees splay apart and hold your ankles. Take a deep breath in and arch the back. Pull your shoulders together. Create a little cradle so that as your head lifts, you have space to rest it back. And then exhale, round the upper back. Chin comes down to your chest. Let the knees spill open as much as they will. Inhale to arch, pull your body up. Exhale to round. Squeeze the feet together here. Stay connected to that midline energy. And now when you come up, just find a neutral spine, but hold the outside of your knees. You can plant your heels on the ground. It's almost like you're in a wide, happy baby already. And I want you to lean back, find that tension that we created in the beginning of practice, rounding the spine just slightly. See if you can bring yourself into balance where your heels are off of the ground with the knees nice and wide. And then slowly roll your way back down, all the way until your upper back and neck are resting on the mat. And you can make big circles with your knees and your arms, taking them out and wide, and then in and together 3 times. Let your left leg straighten out onto the ground. Draw the right knee into your chest. Exhale the air all the way out through your nose. Inhale. Start to bring that knee over to the center of your body. Reach the right arm out wide. And as you exhale, just guide the knee across your upper chest, taking a very, very subtle twist. Your head can turn to the right side if that feels okay in your neck. If it doesn't, keep your head neutral, or you might even look towards the direction of your knee. It's not about forcing, it's about inviting, about listening to what your body already is telling you it needs. As you breathe in, start to bring your right hip back onto the ground, unwind. Extend that leg long. Inhale the left knee towards your chest. Exhale all the air out. Draw the knee as close to your throat as possible. Inhale, start to bring the left knee across the body. Reach the left arm very wide. And as you exhale, twist. Full breath, fill it up. Full exhale, empty it out. Bring the back and hips onto the mat. Just readjust your body so you're in a more straight line. And start to extend that left leg to join the right. And here I want you to just pause for a minute. Push your heels and your upper back into the ground and lift your butt. Create a natural arch in your lower back. So if you could slide your hand right behind your hips, there should be a little space between the ground. And then just wiggle your toes fast from left to right, shaking them really, really rapidly to get your upper thighs to jiggle. And then relax the legs. And we'll do something similar with the upper body. You can push the top of your head and your elbows or wrists into the ground. Pull the shoulders together down your spine. Let your upper back relax. And then just really rapidly, just flick the wrists from side to side or jiggle your upper arms a lot. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. And then relax. And from here, you can just allow your eyes to close if they're not. To take up space wherever you are. The culmination of our practice is, in essence, a preparation for this moment. all of our asanas and effort train us to have the awareness and sensitivity to listen while we are still, and to create an opportunity for all of that energy that we have created, that we have tapped into, to come back into the body, to center itself, to create what we call the shushumna, this powerful, strong conduit through the midline. So see if you can tap into that with your awareness, noticing just the breath rise and fall. Anytime that you get distracted, just come back to that awareness by focusing on your breath. Watch it as it travels in through the nose, down through the throat, into the lungs, down into the very base of your being, and right back out through the belly, through the throat, into the nose, and out into space. As you take your next full breath, we will invite the body to pendiculate, to reset the somatic system. So take your arms, glide them slowly up by your ears, reach overhead, full breath in. And then exhale, just invite yourself over onto your right side. You can draw your knees into your chest. Try to do it without any effort. Ultra lazy. And then slowly just press yourself back up. Receive any stretches here, any enlightened moments, any insight. And you can find another seated position for our last moment together here. Bring the hands palm to touch. Place the thumbs right at the pit of where your sternum is, where your rib cage meets. And just know that this is always where you can come to find center. In the dizziness of your day, of the chaos of life, there is always a starting point, and it is right here. And collectively, as we commit to these practices and we create more conditioning for ourselves, more advancement and progress, this energy point, this center, is a way that we can connect to each other. So thank you for contributing that today. It is such a gift to be with you. And I bow to each of you as my loves and my teachers. Yeah. Week 4, amazing that we're starting week 4 already. I can't even believe that. I will be posting a little bit more this week about some food encouragements and a couple of guided meditations. The workout is the same for this week, and then it'll shift for the last 2 weeks. But this point, as a little bit more than halfway, I'd like to just really encourage you guys to integrate your practices. So meditation, time for self-care through movement or massage, or just those extra couple of moments during the day when you're sitting and squatting and thinking about your experience. That's going to be what I'm focusing on, holding space for you guys this week. As always, I love you. And if you have questions, please reach out, or if you just want to have a little check-in time, I'm wide open.
Tell that snake wrangler hi for me.
Oh my gosh, did you see that funny picture? My husband found, we have like so much amazing wildlife in our garden, which is a great sign of a healthy ecosystem. But there's a couple little local garter snakes that live here, and one of them was like rock climbing, like it was hanging off of these little branches in the bushes. And my husband like went and took this picture, and I think this snake had either been bitten or had like a stroke, because it was like this. It was like it was just making this hilarious face. I was like, poor guy. But he was just like all hanging out in the air, like hunting for frogs. It was so funny.
He totally looked like he had Bell's palsy.
Yeah, poor little guy. He might have, gotten frightened or something. I'm not sure. Anyways.
I'm loving the workouts. I like it when we get together as a group.
Yeah.
Feel